102.9 WBLM, Maine's classic rock station. The Rolling Stones making history over the weekend, playing a free concert in front of like 500,000 people in Cuba last Friday night. And my friend Greg Martens of Portland, Maine is on the line. He was there. How are you, Greg?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a hell of a trip and really nice to be back here in the United States. But how you doing? What's the weather like up there?
Where are you now?
I'm in Miami.
Oh, so okay, all right. So you're not back in Portland yet. All right, gotcha.
No, I get back tomorrow.
We're getting a supreme soaking here in Portland, Maine.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's kind of crappy. They're expecting a record high today of 87 here in Miami, but it never came out. It's cloudy. It's probably only 80. Only 80.
Well, we're going to hit 60 by Thursday by the time you get home. So Greg Martens, everybody, is a guy I've known for, I don't know, how long have we known each other? 25 years?
I'll tell the story. We met 27 years ago. It was my birthday, and we were going up to see David Bowie in Quebec City. And most of us made it to the concert, but it was actually I had two people in Cuba ask me in broken English what the greatest concert I ever went to. And I never could put a finger on the greatest one ever, but since David Bowie has passed, I give him honor that that show in Quebec City, the Sound and Vision Tour, was by far the greatest concert I've ever seen. And that's the day we met.
And that's the show I didn't make it into.
Exactly.
Not just me, though. There were 7 of us, so that's a whole...
there were 7. I just remember you walking away and disappearing in a snowstorm. I was like...
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Luckily, I got to see Bowie that summer at Foxborough. But anyway, you have seen an historic... This show might top it, though. You saw the Stones in Cuba on Friday night, right?
I sure did, Brian. And, you're right. It might top it. I mean, musically, the story was being in Cuba and the people. The Stones were kind of secondary, as I realized once I got there. There's the experience of being in Cuba, not being a stranger in a strange land, not speaking the language, not holding the currency, getting to the show in a cab from the airport. I didn't even know if the guy was taking me to the cement factory or not. I didn't know if he was going to actually deliver me to where the show was or take my money. And then when I got to the show, I got there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They hadn't opened what I would call the gates yet. There was no one on the field. And there was probably 10,000 people waiting to get in at 2 o'clock, and there was one, what you might call a porta toilet for the whole show. I mean, I only saw one porta toilet. What the porta toilet consisted of was 4 pieces of plywood over an open sewer in the street.
God, I hope you brought some Depends with you, man.
Well, that does depend.
What was the highlight of the show for you?
I guess before the show, there's no beach balls. No one's got lawn chairs. There's no Walmart to go buy that crap at. So all of a sudden I looked up and I saw this thing floating around the crowd. And it wasn't a beach ball. It was a condom. Down there, what they do is they blow up condoms and battle around the crowd like a beach ball, like we would do at the United States. They improvise. All of a sudden this thing landed on my top, and it was actually kind of a beach ball, but it was a globe, plastic globe of the world. And before this guy batted it away, I said, stop. And I looked, and people had taken out a pen and written their name and an arrow to the country they're from. So, it was like Jose from, Mexico, and this guy from Brazil. And I took a pen out, and I put Greg from Maine with a little arrow next to it. And I was with some people I met from New York, and they put their name on it. And then we batted that thing away, and I just wondered by the end of the night, the story was the nationalities that were there. There were a lot of Americans, but, man, I met somebody from every country, from Romania.
Definitely an international party down there, huh?
Unbelievable. That's what the story was. And the Cuban people, I was with some uptight New Yorkers, and they're arguing over space and stuff, and I told them to shut up. I said, we're visitors here. The Rolling Stones are here to play for the Cuban people. They're not here to play for Greg Martens from Maine. Right. And we're all visitors here. So... I was like the peacemaker, and they were calling me the band leader in broken English because we stood there we were there for 6 hours in a row from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until the Stones came out at 8. Literally couldn't move. I mean, I was so close, and they crushed people in there so early that, we got to know everybody, and we, all started to speak the common language of peace and love. And I had to remind people, hey, we're visitors here. This is for the Cuban people.
Well, see, I'm sure you were chosen to do that. I can't think of a better man to do it. Now, I noticed on your Facebook page today you quoted "Before They Make Me Run."
Yes, that's I live for the middle of the Stone Show when Keith gets his chance to sing a song or two.
Yeah.
You know, the happy, and I mean that's for me like just the Rolling Stones when Keith gets to sing, and that's the one song he pulled out in the middle of the show, and I just had to quote that. And personally, before the show, people had asked me what song I wanted to hear. And I'd just gotten done saying, I think the third song that the Rolling Stones ever played in their set, back from No Thumb in 1981, the first time they played Under My Thumb, the third song. It sets the tone for a Stones show, the third song. And I said, I want to hear Tumbling Dice. And damn if they didn't play Tumbling Dice, the third song. It kind of flipped me out.
It's Greg Martens, everybody. You have a safe trip home. Let's do Before They Make Me Run now on WBLM.
Hey, Brian Jones, I want to say real quickly, thanks for all the work you do and all the music you play and all the people, the lives you actually save and by getting up every morning and going to play music for people. I got some stories to tell you about that. I'm for real. And when I met Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes at a Dead show, I said, hey, I'm Greg Martens from Portland, Maine. I'm friends with Brian James. He said, the blimp. I love you. Keep on trucking. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Greg. See ya.